Hello, everyone. This is Devan Edwards, aka Devan the Connector, connecting you, yes, you, to the knowledge that will empower yourself. Now, I'm coming live. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Winning Wednesday. Wealthy Wednesday. Whatever other Wednesday begins with W, you know? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, the question is the answer to change. The question is the answer to change. What do I mean by the question is the answer to change? All the answers that we seek in life, all the answers that we seek to that in order to make a change in our life, in every aspect of our life, it comes down to what we say to ourselves and how we act on what we say to ourselves. And often that is questions like, but it's not really empowering questions. And it's whatever we say to ourselves is really stuff that really permeate into our reality. And I remember Jim Rohn, he was like, I'm gonna give you a few questions that you can ask yourself, which will activate something within you to want to change and not just move around life by chance. Because you don't get better by chance, you get better by change. And you get better by change by asking yourself the right questions and then seeking to answer that question. So put a 1 in the chat if you're watching live. Put a two if you're watching the replay. I'm gonna share these questions with you. But first, I want to come to a story. You know, story time. What about story time? So, how did I come to this realization? I was actually meditating on this. This was a few years ago. I actually wrote a poem called Soul, Soul, because I was really asking myself, like, what is the cause of why I'm here on earth? Like, I had this feeling in my soul, and I was just like, yo, what is it? I'm seeing all these things around me. I'm experiencing all these things in my life. I want to grow, but I don't know what that looks like. I want to grow, but I don't know where to go. And I was kept asking myself, how do I attach myself to this reality? How do I grow from what I'm going through? And more and more, I got into personal development, and I would listen to the different lectures. I would listen to what these speakers were saying, and then I'll ask myself, okay, how can this apply to my life? And often I did find the answers. You know, I found the mission, the purpose in my life, and I'm so passionate every day about it now. You know, connecting to people to the knowledge that will empower themselves in mind, body, and spirit, and using that to create a life of total freedom. And if you're looking around the world, a lot of the world is confused. A lot of the world is in a state of confusion, and their thoughts are scattered because they're not thinking for themselves. They're not really actively looking for the answers because they're looking to either the government or something outside of themselves for the answers. But really, it's the questions we have to ask ourselves. So I'm going to go into the questions. So I want you to write these down. So first question you want to ask is, who am I around? Who am I around? Number one, who are you around? Because, you know, environment is everything. Who are you around? You know? Number two would be, what are they doing to me? The people that's in my environment, what are they doing to me? Are they empowering me or disempowering me? Are they holding me back or helping me forward? You know? And what have they got me reading? What has my environment got me reading? Are you just reading memes all day? Are you just reading gossip on the news, or are you just reading an encyclopedia? I mean, that could be good, I guess. But you know what I mean. Are you reading something that's not really propelling you forward, or are you reading something that's just idly, you know? The next question is, where do they have me going? So wherever you go, are you going to spaces where it's like really enriching your life? It's like where you can build upon your mind, like have great discussions, you know, talk about topics that are a real thing in this world, or stuff, or even topics that you're passionate about. you know? And what did they have me thinking? Does your environment have you thinking negative thoughts? What can you do to have an environment that is thinking positive? And I personally had to go transition from my environment, which was negative. I transitioned from an environment where people were imprisoned by their paycheck, and a lot of people really gave up on their dreams and goals around me, and that affected me without even me realizing. Just by me interacting with these people, it really brought my vibration down. But then something changed. I got into environments where people had an abundance mindset. Got into communities where people was thinking on higher octaves and higher levels of thinking, and really everything that they was posting or engaging was expanding my consciousness. And there was an energy exchange where it was enriching both parties. It was a win-win relationship. And often people are in jobs or in environments or communities that's just no one's winning in the relationship. No one's growing emotionally. No one's growing mentally. No one's growing financially. No one's growing physically. It's happening in this world, but they're still asking themselves the wrong question because they're comfortable with it. They're okay with where they are. Majority. So, and now the next question, the final question will be, what do they have me becoming? Like, what are you becoming? I remember Jim Rohn said, what are you becoming? Because everything that you're becoming, everything that you're feeling is a reflection of the process of what you're becoming. And everything that you surround yourself by is a reflection of what you're in the process of becoming. And so you got to understand what are these habits that you have? What are these repeating behaviors? What are these patterns that are forming in your life that are really interjecting, or stuff that you really need to review and think about changing, like actively changing, not just hoping it will get better? Because again, the real big question is, after you've answered those questions to yourself, because when you watch this again, I want you to write down these questions. When you write down these questions, ask yourself, is the answer to those questions okay? Is the answer to the questions okay? Is the answer to the questions okay? And is the answers to the questions going to promote a change in your life? Do you really think that could promote a positive change in your life? Do you think it could bring about a transformative situation? I really want you to ask yourself that, because again, life does not get better by chance. It gets better by choice. And if you're someone that wants to empower their life, really transform their life, really understand that the question is the answer to change. So before I go, I want you to really affirm to yourself, I will ask only empowering questions because I want to change my life. I want to transform my life in mind, body, and spirit, or whichever aspect of your life you wanna do so. Apply this principle. The question is the answer to change. This is Devan Edwards, aka Devan the Connector, connecting you to the knowledge that will empower yourself. Stay empowered, and just remember, the connection continues. Take care.